So you woke up with a crick in your neck or you get tingling down your arm. You're in the right place because I'm going to show you exactly what this is and what you can do to fix it. What's up guys, Dr. Nick Bonforte. In this video, we're going to be going over all of this sensation maybe down your arm. It feels restricted in your neck. We're going to go over what this is and what you could do to actually solve this. Now, timestamps down below if you want to skip right ahead to the exercises, but stick around if you want to learn more of the understanding of why, a rationalization, and more in depth to all this stuff. So timestamps down below, let's get to it. Now, before we dive into the exercises, we really have to understand what we're kind of dealing with. It's not uncommon to all of a sudden just wake up with pain into the one side of the neck typically, and it's going to feel hard to actually rotate to that side bend to that side, or look over your shoulder. Because at a fundamental level, we have to look localized at the neck, specifically at the disc. Now, in each of our vertebrae, we have a disc that tends to, depending on what we do, whether we're sleeping in a wrong position, prolonged activity, prolonged positions, repeated movements, it can create a bulging effect. When we create a bulging effect, we have a joint dysfunction or a joint problem there. When we have a bulging effect, it can put pressure on the nerve root, which is why we can actually get tingling sensations down our arm. And then if we have a bulging effect at the neck as well, it'll be hard to bend to the side, rotate the side because it's being blocked. So the idea is we have to get that bulge out of the way. Now, are disc bulges or herniations normal? Absolutely. A lot of times we could have it and just be asymptomatic. So we have to just understand at a high level overview of that's most likely the reasoning of why it hurt and what we could do to actually solve this. Now this first exercise, we're working on cervical retractions. The idea here is we're going into an extension-based type of approach, which typically tends to do well when we have disc bulges or herniations, versus the other way, which is flexion, which tends to put pressure on this stuff. So when we do extensions, we want to think about our chin staying on a level surface. So imagine your chin is on a table and you're sliding your chin or you're scraping your chin on the table going backwards. Now when you do this, you might feel a little bit of discomfort into the neck, or you might get some of the radiating symptoms going down your arm. That is okay as long as when you continue doing more reps, say up to 15, it starts to decrease. So the first couple reps won't feel good, but you want to keep doing this. I like to get about 15 reps, and I like to do multiple rounds, 2 rounds or 3 rounds, 2 sets to 3 sets of 15 reps, and you build enough volume into this so that we can get input into the system. Now, a good thing you want to do is also do a pre-test and then a post-test. So the pre-test, you can see here, as I move my head to the side, it hurts. As I rotate to the side, it hurts. Then you want to do the cervical retractions or that exercise, do multiple reps, say 15, and then retest that position. If you can rotate better, as you can see here, and you could bend yourself better, as you can see also here, after you're done doing the exercise, that's a good sign because your range of motion improved. Now, high level overview, we want to keep in mind when you're doing these exercises, it's normal to feel stiffness or tightness or discomfort as long as your range of motion is improving and your pain levels are decreasing, versus doing this exercise and things are worsening. Your range of motion is worse after you're doing it. You're getting more sensations down your arm as you're doing it. It's staying worse. Then we want to hold off, maybe change positions, maybe not do it as intense, maybe lower the reps, but that's the concept with this one. The idea with cervical retractions is essentially to get more input into the system to kind of shove everything out of the way. If we're thinking of a bulging effect or a herniation effect, by doing cervical retractions, it tends to do well by getting pressure off maybe the nerve root and creating mechanical pressure to kind of move things out of the way. When we do this, we'll notice joint improvement by range of motion improvements. Now the thing is, we have to build consistency to this. Specifically at the neck, when we're sparked up in discomfort or pain, when we're at a desk all day, we'll be in a flexed position. That can contribute to why these things linger around. So frequency with this one is foundational. I like to do this one 3 sets of 15 every 2 hours or every 3 hours of the day. And you would do that until the discomfort calms down. Then you could do maintenance work. If you feel like your symptoms are at bay, your range of motion is improving, you're not getting any tingling down, you could then do it maybe every 4 hours or every 5 hours, or maybe you only need it once a day. But in the short term, you're going to do it more frequently and be aware of aggravating factors so that you can kind of get ahead of this thing. So with this exercise, we're working on banded shoulder external rotation. This is a great one to activate other areas of the body. So with this, we want to get more input. So 3 sets, 4 sets of 10, and you could hold for a little bit of duration input. With this, I'm holding it for a little bit and then coming back in. You could play with it though. You could hold it for 2 seconds. You could hold it for 5 seconds. You could hold it for 10 seconds. The idea is let's work the shoulders so we de-emphasize input to the neck, because when the neck is sparked up, it doesn't feel great. So with this, you want to think about getting up tall, squeeze your shoulder blades back, maintain that position, and then go out and hold it. Do reps here to get the shoulders burning. Now the idea with the shoulder isometrics is to get input to a different area of the body. When the neck is sparked up, it's gonna feel stiff and tight, and we're gonna wanna stretch it. But in the short term, that might actually cause more irritation when we're having a little bit of a spark up. So we wanna calm things down by activating around the area. So by working the shoulders, our shoulder muscles, we have some attachments going into the neck. So when we work it isometrically in a different area, we're getting input into some other area, which deloads or de-emphasizes the neural input and the activation to the neck, which then could actually relax it, making it feel less stiff so that we don't just aggravate it and stretch it. So by working a different area, we play a big role into helping this. And then also, working on shoulder external rotation of this exercise, it works on some postural mechanics and getting you upright. Because a lot of times, contributing factors to cervical disc issues or disc herniations or just neck pain in general tends to be associated with poor posture. Being at a desk all day slouched over, rounded shoulders, all of those things contribute to that. So by working on this, we help open up the chest, open up the shoulders, and make it feel a lot better. This one is nerve glides. When we have irritation to the neck, it can spark up, like I was mentioning at the beginning of the nerve root. So we don't want to stretch things because we'll make it worse. So with nerve glides, we're help mobilizing the nerve through all the muscle bellies. So with this, you'll notice my head is tilting to the side. I'm stretching my arm on because I'm slacking it at my neck and I'm stretching it at my arms. Then when I reverse it, I'm bringing my arm closer to me and then I'm bending my head away. So then I'm stretching it at my neck and shortening it at my arm, because our nerves run from our brain all the way down to our fingers. So when it's irritated, the nerves, we don't want to put it on full stretch right away. We want to help mobilize this. So i.e., when the arm goes straight, I bend my neck to slack it, and then vice versa when I bring it back, I bend my head. So it's slacking and stretching, slacking and stretching. The idea with nerve mobilizations is to get more input. I like 3 sets of 20, 3 sets of 30. The idea is, again, to just lower discomfort, lower the stiffness feeling you feel with it without aggressively stretching it. Now, we have to be careful with nerve glides. Now, nerve glides, we don't want to put it on too much stretch, especially in the beginning phases of a spark up or irritation, because when the nerves are irritated, we don't want to be stretching it aggressively. So nerve glides is a good option. Now, nerve glides would apply if you feel all the tingling sensation going down. If you don't feel anything at all, no tightness, no stiffness, then we could probably just skip this one. But if you do feel that stiffness and tightness, this could be a good one to help mobilize everything by working specifically on stretching it on one end and slackening it on the other end. So like I mentioned, as my arm goes to be in a lengthened position, I would bend my head, which slacks the nerve here, stretches it all here, and then when I bring it back, I stretch it here and I slack it here, because the nerves run all the way down our arm. Now, we gotta keep in mind there's different biases that we could put on different nerves. We have the median nerve, we have the ulnar nerve, we have the radial nerve. Now, I'm just biasing one specific nerve with my arm here, but the concept applies with nerve glides. We're just stretching it and slacking it in a more mobilizing way versus aggressively stretching it and contributing to the irritation. So this could be a great one in help mobilizing nerve tissue that seems to be irritated. So this exercise is the banded A row. This is a great one to get all the postural muscles and the back muscles to activate. With this, I like reps as well and volume here. 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps, and you could hold each position for about a couple seconds if needed. If you want to just pause for a second, that's fine. If you want to pause for 5 seconds, that'll increase more tension under the back muscles. Now the key with this is make sure you're upright, not bending your head forward. You keep your chest up tall, head straight, arms locked out, and then you pull to the side of your body. That'll really emphasize the back musculature to activate. Again, reps, 3-4 sets, 10 to 15 is key here. Now the idea with incorporating this one into actually helping the neck is kind of the concept with doing the banded shoulder external rotation one. We're trying to activate other areas around the neck. Now with this, postural mechanics plays a huge role. Like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of times postural mechanics, prolonged positions, repeated activity into a position tends to flare up neck discomfort. So by working on a postural exercise like this, we're activating the entire back musculature and getting a little bit of an endurance component to it. By doing multiple reps and holding each rep for a period of time, we activate those postural muscles. Now, it's different than if we're trying to do power, like a classic chest press, we're just trying to push weight and get bigger chest muscles. That's a lot different than postural muscles that are going to be on throughout the day to support us. So we have to kind of bias that with different exercises to kind of play a role into this stuff. So hopefully this one makes sense while we're dressing all the back musculature to keep us upright to ultimately help the neck. Well, there you go. I hope this video gave you some insight and value to understand how to calm things down at the neck and exercises that you could really focus on in the short term. In the short term, the cervical retractions will decrease the symptoms and help modifications, and then the postural exercises and the nerve glides will really help kind of keep things at bay and keep yourself moving in the right direction. Now, go back if you didn't go in depth on it, learn the sets and the reps and the frequency of certain exercises so that it could actually apply to you and make you feel a lot better. So hopefully you did gain some value in this. If you did find value in it and it was helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe down to the channel down below and like this video, leave any comments down below. This is Dr. Nick. I will see you on the next one.